and the Missing Cupcakes by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and Gus were as busy as could be. They were getting ready for the cupcake party. It started at 3. They were making cupcakes for everyone. Pete and Gus counted them just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They had 10 when they were done. Oh no! Hang on! Some of the cupcakes were gone. They were sure there had been 10. Pete said, "Maybe we need to count again." They counted the cupcakes lined up straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now there were only 8. It looked like someone had taken 2. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found a clue. Gus said, "Look what I have found. Sprinkles on the ground." I bet it was Squirrel. She loves sprinkles. Squirrel said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been at the spelling bee." Uh-oh! More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. This was too weird. 2 more cupcakes had disappeared. Now there were only 6. Someone must be playing tricks. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found another clue. Pete said, "I bet it was an alligator. He loves to eat." Alligator said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been learning my ABCs." Uh-oh! More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. Now there were only 4. Someone had taken 2 more. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found another clue. "I bet it was Turtle," said Pete. "I know Turtle loves sweets." Turtle said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been swimming in the sea." Uh-oh. More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. What on earth was going on? All the cupcakes were now gone. Oh, no. Pete and Gus did not know what to do. They started looking for another clue. They found Grumpy Toad with icing on his face. Pete and Gus have solved the case. "I am so sorry. It was me. I could not stop with just one. I ate and ate till there were none." Oh, no! Everyone agreed. Grumpy Toad would have to miss the fun. He could not come after what he had done. Pete said, "But wait, Grumpy Toad made a mistake. This is true. Let's give him a second chance. That's what friends do." Pete told Grumpy Toad they would give him another chance. He was excited. He did a happy dance. The night of the party was so much fun. Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes for everyone. The end. Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. Story by Eric Littman, aka Mr. Eric. Art by James Dean. Pete the Cat was walking down the street in his brand new white shoes. Pete loved his white shoes so much, he sang this song. I love my white shoes. 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 Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of strawberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Red! Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! He kept walking along and singing his song. Everything is cool. I love my red shoes. 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 I love my red. Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of blueberries. What color did it turn his shoes? Blue! Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! He kept walking along and singing his song. Awesome! I love my blue shoes. 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 I love my... Oh no! Pete stepped in a large pile of mud. What color did it turn his shoes? Brown! Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! He kept walking along and singing his song. Groovy! I love my brown shoes. 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 I love my... Oh no! Pete stepped in a bucket of water. And all the brown, and all the blue, and all the red were washed away. What color were his shoes again? White! But now they were wet. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no! He kept walking along and singing his song. Rock and roll! I love my wet shoes. 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 The moral of Pete's story is, no matter what you step in, keep walking along and singing your song, because it's all good. The end. Hello friends, today we are going to read Pete the Cat's Snow Days, written and illustrated by James Dean. Pete the cat wakes up and gets ready for school. He has show and tell today there. There is no school today, says Pete's mom. It's a snow day. Hooray! Yells Pete. Let's go sledding, says Pete. Great idea, says his brother Bob. Pete puts on his hat, boots, and mittens. I'm ready to go, he says. On the way, Pete makes snowballs. He throws one at Bob. Bob throws one back. Pete makes a snow cat. Snow days are way more fun than school days, he says. Sledding Hill, here we come, says Pete. He can't wait to get there. Pete waves to Callie. Come sledding with us, he says. The hill is big. Trey and Emma look small at the top. Crunch, crunch goes the snow as Pete, Bob, and Callie go up, up, up. Whee! They yell as they go down, down, down. I love snow days, says Pete. On the way home, Pete and Bob stop at Trey's house. The hot chocolate is yummy. What a fun day, says Pete. Tomorrow at school, I'll tell my class all about it. Pete wakes up to more snow. It's not a school day. It's another snow day. Pete makes a snow fort. He throws snowballs. He makes a snow dog. Then he has fun sledding. He can't wait to tell his teacher about it. But the next day is a snow day too. There's too much snow. Pete and Bob can barely even open the front door. Before you go sledding, please shovel the walk, says Mom. But shoveling is hard work. When Pete is done, he's too tired to go sledding. Pete misses his teacher. He misses the other cats in his class. Pete can't wait to go back to school tomorrow. But when Pete wakes up, it's snowing. Oh no, he says. Not another snow day. Pete wants to go to school. So Pete plows the streets all by himself. The other cats rush outside. They help clear the snow. Everyone wants to go to school. The streets are clear and safe. The bus can drive. School is open. All the kids are excited to see their teacher. He has a snow day show and tell. When it's Pete's turn, he tells everyone about the fun he had in the snow. I love snow days, says Pete, but I love school best. The end. Pete the Cat, Super Pete! Pete the Cat is out for a walk. Pete listens to owls. He listens to the frogs. Just then, Pete hears a beep. It is not coming from outside. It is coming from his watch. Pete races home. It is time for Pete the Cat to become Super Pete! Pete presses a button in his room. The wall slides away. Pete sees a set of steps. Down, down, down he goes. Pete steps into his lair. It is full of groovy things to help him fight crime. Pete the Cat puts on his awesome cat suit. He puts on his cape and his sneakers. Now, Super Pete is ready to save the city. Pete sees a flashing light. There is a message on his computer. It is the mayor. Come quick, Super Pete, the mayor says. We need your help. There is trouble at the warehouse. Pete pulls a lever. Whoosh! Pete's nifty jet sinks into his lair. Pete hops into the jet. He zips into the air. Super Pete is on his way to save the day. Pete races through the sky. He hits a button. The jet shimmers. The jet disappears. Now the jet is invisible. No one will know Super Pete is coming. Pete hovers over the warehouse. He straps on a parachute. He jumps. Pete lands on the roof. He goes inside the warehouse. It is dark. He cannot see. Pete puts on his night vision goggles. He sees two bad guys. They are carrying a box. Pete picks up a rock. He puts it in his slingshot. The rock hits the box. The bad guys drop the box. They climb out a window. Pete races to the window. The bad guys have a boat. They are getting away. Pete pushes a button on his catsuit. His sneakers turn to flippers. A mask closes over his face. Pete jumps into the water. He swims after the bad guys. Pete takes a rope from his pocket. He twirls it over his head. Pete aims. He throws. The rope catches the boat. Pete pulls himself along the rope. Pete climbs into the bad guy's boat. He ties up the bad guys. Pete pushes a button on his watch. His jet appears above him. Pete pulls the bad guys into his jet. Pete brings the bad guys to the mayor. Super Pete saved the day. The end. Hello, friends. Today we are going to read Pete the Cat, The First Thanksgiving by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete was nervous about being a pilgrim in his class's Thanksgiving play, The First Thanksgiving. Just do your best, his best friend Callie said. Pete said he would try. He was ready. His mom had even made him a pilgrim hat, which was really cool. Happy Thanksgiving! Pete took his place at the front of the giant ship that his class had made out of cardboard. Pete was a pilgrim on the Mayflower. In 1620, a group of pilgrims decided to leave England for the New World to build a new life. It was a long, long trip on a big, big ship. All the pilgrims sang. The sea was rough and very dangerous. Many pilgrims got very, very sick. The dream of a new start in a new world made the hard trip all worth it. For more than 2 months, the pilgrims sailed. They wondered if they would ever get there. After 65 days on the ship, the new world finally came into view. Land ho! Pete cried. All the pilgrims did a happy dance. The pilgrims arrived in the New World at Plymouth Rock in what is now Massachusetts. Everyone had many chores to do, like growing food, finding water, and building shelters. The first winter in the New World was long and hard. In the spring, the pilgrims had to decide whether to give up and go back to England or keep trying. The pilgrims had heard about the Native Americans, and many worried that they would not be friendly. Pete had never met a cat he didn't like, so he thought they would be kind. Pete was right. He made a new friend in Squanto. Squanto and the other Native Americans showed the pilgrims how to grow crops like corn, beans, and squash. By summer, the pilgrims had learned how to farm the new land. By fall harvest, the pilgrims had plenty of food. To thank Squanto and the other Native Americans, the pilgrims invited them to share the harvest. This celebration became known as the First Thanksgiving. Pete was relieved when the play was over. He had remembered all his lines. Wow, I never thought about how hard it was back then, said Pete. You did great, Callie said. Later, at Thanksgiving dinner with his family, Pete said, "Let's all go around the table and say something we're thankful for." "I'm thankful for my family," said Pete's mom. "I'm thankful for my skateboard," said Bob. "I'm thankful for the brave pilgrims that started this new free world," said Pete. "What are you thankful for?" The end. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all day long. The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The horn on the bus goes beep, beep, beep all day long. The signals on the bus go blink, 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 blink. The signals on the bus go blink, blink, blink all day long. The cats on the bus go, let's rock out, let's rock out, let's rock out. The cats on the bus go, let's rock out all day long. Hello, friends. Today we are going to read Pete the Cat and the Treasure Map by James Dean. Captain Pete looks across Cat Cove. The sun is sparkling on the water. It's a beautiful day for an adventure. Something flies toward Captain Pete's ship. It's a parrot. "Squawk," says the parrot. She gives Captain Pete a crumpled piece of paper. "What is it?" asks First Mate Callie. Captain Pete looks at the paper. There's a long trail that ends with an X. "It's a treasure map," he says. "Treasure?" says First Mate Callie. "Where?" "On Secret Island," says Captain Pete. "Let's go," says First Mate Callie. "Woo-hoo!" Woo! cries the crew. "Treasure!" Splash! Captain Pete steers the ship through the big waves. The salty wind pushes the sails. The ship is going really fast. "Good job, mateys," says Captain Pete. "We'll be there in no time." Uh-oh, Captain Pete spoke too soon. He spies something coming toward them. "What is that?" asks First Mate Callie. A giant arm reaches up and splashes the water. It makes a wave that crashes down on Pete's boat. Splash! "Squawk!" cries the parrot. "Arr!" yells the crew. Kersplash! Another arm comes crashing down. The crew is scared, but not Captain Pete. He knows that the monster isn't trying to scare them. He's rocking a cool beat. Captain Pete takes out his guitar and strums. The monster rises out of the water. The crew takes cover, but the monster stops when he hears Pete playing. He nods his head along. He's not a scary sea monster. He's an awesome sea drummer. "Rock on," says Captain Pete. "Thanks," booms the monster. "Oh no, Captain," shouts First Mate Callie. "A big storm is coming." "Batten down the hatches," says Captain Pete. Everyone gets ready for the storm. The waves toss the ship, but the crew is brave. Captain Pete has an idea. "Hey there, friend," he yells to the sea monster. "We need some help." The monster grabs the ship with his giant arms and gives it a great big boost. The ship moves right through the storm. "Hooray!" Woo! shouts the crew as the monster swims up to the boat. "Thanks, friend," yells Captain Pete. "No problem," booms the monster. "Land ho!" yells First Mate Callie, pointing out over the sea. All the pirates rush to look. "It's Secret Island," says Captain Pete. On the beach, their buddy Grumpy Toad is waiting with a glittering pile of treasure. "Ahoy, mateys! You got my map!" Grumpy Toad says. "Treasure is no fun if you can't share it with your friends." The crew is so happy. They do catwheels in the sand. "Thanks, Grumpy Toad," they shout. "I think we're missing something," says Captain Pete. "Let's play some music." "What a great idea," says Grumpy Toad. The pirates load all the treasure onto the ship. Captain Pete takes out his guitar and strums. But something is missing from his song. "Our drummer," Captain Pete says as the sea monster pops his head above the waves. "Would you like to join my crew?" "Aye," booms the monster. "Rock on," Captain Pete says as the monster joins in on a rocking pirate tune. Captain Pete's crew is complete. All the pirates sing, yo ho, a pirate's life for us." The end. Hello, friends. Today we are going to read Pete the Cat Trick or Treat by Kimberly and James Dean. It's Halloween. Pete the cat is excited to go trick-or-treating in his superhero costume. "I hope nothing too spooky happens," says Pete. "Don't worry," says Pete's dad. "We have our flashlights." Boo! Let's go trick-or-treating, says Pete. Pete and his dad walk outside. The wind rustles the leaves. Pete sees something moving in the tree. Whoosh! It's just an owl. That wasn't too spooky, says Pete. They arrive at a neighbor's house. Pete rings the bell. Boo! Meow! He hears a strange sound coming to the door. Trick or treat! It's just Callie, Pete says. She's not too spooky. Callie joins Pete and his dad trick-or-treating. At the next house, there is something in the yard. Phew! It's just a scarecrow, says Pete. That's not too spooky. Boo! Pete rings the doorbell. Trick or treat, say Pete and Callie. Happy Halloween! Awesome costume, says Pete. Very spooky, but not too spooky. Thank you, says Mrs. Gold, the crossing guard. At the next house, there is something glowing on the steps. Cool, says Pete. Jack-o'-lanterns. Callie rings the doorbell. Trick or treat, say Pete and Callie. Happy Halloween! It's Pete's teacher. One piece of candy each, she says. Suddenly, they hear something behind them. What was that? Asks Callie. Oh, it's just our friend Emma, says Pete. Not spooky, but groovy. One last house and then we'll go home, says Pete's dad. Pete rings the bell. Ding dong! Beware! Yikes! It's a spooky ghost, screams Pete. Don't be silly, Pete. It's just me, says Grandma. Callie and Pete get treats and hugs. Trick-or-treating wasn't too spooky after all. It was actually full of sweet surprises. Happy Halloween! On the first day of Christmas, be it get to me, a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the second day of Christmas, be it get to me, two fuzzy gloves and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the third day of Christmas, be Day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 12 friends are rocking, 11 balls are bouncing, 10 slots are sleeping, 9 empty sweaters, 8 guitars strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 million rings, 4 4-ounce surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. When the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light. Twinkle, twinkle all the night. In the dark blue sky you keep, often through my curtains peep, for you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Hello, friends! In this book, Pete the Kitty and the Unicorn's Missing Colors, you'll be going on a fun adventure. Are you ready to read? Here we go! Pete sees his friend Stevie the unicorn at the playground. Stevie looks sad. Hi, Stevie, says Pete. What's wrong? The magic unicorn dance party is tonight, says Stevie. But I lost all the colors in my rainbow tail. I can help, says Pete. We can use my magic paintbrush. Where did you last see your colors? Pete asks. Stevie says, when I was playing in the park. The park is very big. Stevie looks worried. We'll never find my colors before the dance party, Stevie says. Which colors are you missing? Asks Pete. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple are gone, Stevie says. Look! Pete points his magic brush at a berry patch. Let's borrow some red. Pop. A magic red blaze appears in Stevie's tail. Wow, says Stevie. Now we know what to do, says Pete. Great, says Stevie. Do green next. Green is everywhere, says Pete. The grass is green. The trees are green. Pop. Stevie's tail gets a green blaze. Stevie prances. That butterfly is yellow, says Pete. Pop. Stevie's tail gets a yellow blaze. Hurry, Pete, says Stevie. 3 more colors to go. This flower is orange, says Pete. Pop. Stevie's tail gets an orange blaze. Keep going, Pete, Stevie says. The party starts soon. The lake is blue, Pete says. Pop. Stevie's tail gets a blue blaze. 1 more left, says Stevie. The clouds are purple, shouts Pete. Pop. Stevie's tail gets a purple blaze. Yay! Pete and Stevie cheer. Stevie jumps for joy. Pete found all the missing colors. I love my rainbow tail, says Stevie. Come with me to the party. Stevie and Pete dance at the Magic Unicorn dance party. Stevie's rainbow tail is a big hit. Thanks, Pete, says Stevie. It's cool to help friends, says Pete. The end. Pete the cat. Valentine's Day is Cool by Kimberly and James Dean. It was the day before Valentine's Day, and Pete was riding his skateboard home when he saw his friend Callie. She was holding a big red heart that said, "Love." "Have you finished your Valentine's Day cards?" asked Callie. "No, Valentine's Day is not cool," Pete said. "Oh, Pete, Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday. It's the day to tell people how special they are to you," Callie insisted. Pete skated on, but something in the back of his mind told him that Callie might be right. By the time Pete got home, he had decided that Callie was right about Valentine's Day. So he got out his pencils, paper, crayons, markers, and sat down at the kitchen table. First, Pete started to work on a card for his friend Larry. Pete made several cards with big red hearts, but he was not happy with his work. Pete wanted to make the perfect cards for every cat in his class. "I'll never get all these cards done in time," Pete told his mom. Pete's mom smiled. "Just do your best," she said. "Just tell Larry why he is cool. There's something cool about every cat." Pete got back to work. He thought hard what was cool about Larry. To Larry, "Happy Valentine's Day from Pete." "Perfect," Pete said. After that, it didn't take Pete long to make cards for all the boys. To Josh, to Trey, to Rob, to John. Then Pete made special cards for all the girls and wrote "Love, Pete" on each one. And of course, he made the biggest heart-shaped card for his mom. The next day, Pete and Callie waited for the bus together. "I decided you were right. Valentine's Day is cool." "That's awesome," Callie said. "By the way, I am having a Valentine's Day party at my house after school, if you want to come." The bus pulled up then, and Pete and Callie got on. Mr. Ted, the bus driver, smiled and said good morning. But as soon as they were in their seats, Pete put his head in his paws. "What's wrong?" Callie asked. "I forgot to make a card for Mr. Ted," he cried. Then Pete thought, "But I can make him an awesome card before we get to school." Pete pulled out a piece of paper and colorful pencil from his backpack. He began to draw. "Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for picking us up every day for school," Pete and Callie said as they handed Mr. Ted his Valentine. "Thank you," Mr. Ted told them. "You just made my day." "What about Mrs. Gold, the crossing guard? We need to make her a Valentine too," Pete practically shouted. "Let's do it," Callie said. "Let's make Valentines for everyone." Pete and Callie got super busy making cards for everyone. To Mrs. Gold, "Happy Valentine's Day to the police." "Happy Valentine's Day to the fireman." "Happy Valentine's Day to the librarian." After school, Pete went to Callie's party. He rang the bell and then he froze. Callie opened the door only to find her friend in a panic. "What's wrong, Pete?" "I forgot something very important," Pete admitted. "What?" Callie asked. "I just realized I forgot to make a card for you," Pete said. "That's okay, Pete. Cards are just a way of showing you care. Hanging out with you, that's way better than any card. This is the best Valentine's Day ever. And happy Valentine's Day to you. Love, Pete." The end. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned for many more cool stories like this one. Today we are going to read Pete the Kitty, Wash Your Hands by Kimberly and James Dean. "Wash your hands," says Mom. "Okay," says Pete the Kitty. "I'm done. Pete's hands are not clean." "I'll help you,"
says Bob. Watch me. Turn on the water, Bob says. Then wet your hands. Splish. Scrub your hands with soap. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Rinse your hands with water. Splash. Then dry your hands. Rub, rub, rub. Now you try it, Bob says. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Ta-da! Says Pete. Great job, says Bob. We must wash our hands many times a day, says Bob. When? Asks Pete. Wash your hands after you play. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands when you throw trash away. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands before you eat. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands after a treat. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands when someone is sick. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands if you just have to pick. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Wash your hands if you sneeze, cough, or blow. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. And please, wash your hands after you go. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. I've got it, says Pete. Thank you, Bob. Have fun, Bob says. Splish, scrub, splash, rub. Did you wash your hands? Mom asks. Yes, says Pete. Keeping clean is good.
Hello, friends! Today we are going to read Pete the Kitty's Cozy Christmas by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete the Kitty wakes up on a snowy day. It's Christmas Eve! I'll wear my cozy Christmas sweater, says Pete. Pete's mom is putting up the Christmas tree. Pete wants to help decorate. He hangs a glittery ornament on the highest branch. Mom helps. Pete goes out to play in the snow. Don't forget your hat, says Mom. Mom brings him hot cocoa and his hat. After everyone has gone to bed, Pete hears Santa. He tiptoes down the stairs to check. Ho, 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 says Santa. Merry Christmas. There are lots of presents under the tree. You've been a very good kitty, says Santa. Thanks, says Pete. This has been a very good Christmas. The end. Hello, friends. Today we are going to read Pete the Cat Falling for Autumn. Story written and illustrated by Kimberly and James Dean. It's the first day of fall, and Pete the cat is feeling blue. I like summer better, he says. In summer, I can swim and surf and play at the beach. Maybe you just need to remind yourself of all the things you love about autumn, Mom suggests. Pete says. I'll try. Pete finds Grandma in the kitchen. She's baking delicious pumpkin pies. The whole house smells sweet and spicy. Pete loves helping Grandma bake pumpkin pie, but he loves helping eat it even more. After the baking is done, Pete picks a squat orange pumpkin from the counter and slips it into his backpack as a souvenir. Next, Pete heads to the town corn maze. Pete and his friends wander through the long, twisty paths made of tall corn stalks. The best part of the corn maze is getting lost and having to start over again. As Pete leaves, Pete plucks a golden corn cob from the maze and places it inside his backpack. Then, Pete visits Grandpa, who's knitting on the porch. Grandpa helps Pete use the knitting needles to knit the yarn into cool patterns. Together, Pete and Grandpa make a long, cozy scarf for Pete to wear. When they're done, Pete chooses a little ball of leftover yarn and places it inside his backpack. Next, Pete goes to the hayride at the park. Pete, Bob, Mom, Dad, and Grandpa all pile into a wagon filled with hay. They go on a bumpy wagon ride around the park. Woohoo! Pete shouts. At the end of the ride, Pete grabs a handful of sweet-smelling hay from the wagon and stuffs it into his backpack. Pete heads over to the apple orchard, where he and Callie go apple picking. They eat sweet apple donuts and drink hot apple cider, and fill their buckets with apples of all different shapes and sizes. Before he leaves, Pete chooses a round red apple and drops it into his backpack. Next, Pete stops at the park. He plays touch football with Bob and their friends. Pete scores a touchdown and everyone cheers. After the game, Pete grabs Bob's football and stuffs it into his backpack. It barely fits. Bob won't mind if I borrow this, Pete says. Finally, Pete heads back home, but he stops in his front yard, which is covered in bright leaves falling from the trees. Pete helps his dad rake the leaves into big, colorful mounds. Then, Pete runs and jumps into all the leaf piles. After he's done jumping, Pete picks a bunch of red and gold and orange leaves and stuffs them into his backpack. Pete's backpack is bursting with fall souvenirs. He can't wait to show Mom. I love autumn, Pete says. Wonderful, says Mom. You know, these would make great decorations for Thanksgiving. So Pete helps Mom fill a basket with all his mementos. They place the basket at the center of the table. You did a great job, Pete, says Mom. It's beautiful, says Dad. Is that my football? Asks Bob. Just then, the doorbell rings. Ding dong! The Thanksgiving guests are here. All of Pete's family and friends gather around the dining room table. They tell stories and laugh at jokes while they eat. Everyone is having a great time. Pete looks around the table and smiles. He loves lots of things about autumn, but Pete knows what he loves most all year long: his family and friends. The end. Hello, friends. Today we are going to read Pete the Cat Family Road Trip, story written and illustrated by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete, Bob, Mom, and Dad are going on a road trip across the United States. Dad loads the bags onto the roof. Mom picks the music. Bob and Pete grab the bike. The first stop is Niagara Falls. They ride a boat to see the waterfall up close. Pete loves pretending he's the captain. Next stop is Boston. The family walks the Freedom Trail. They take a photo in front of Paul Revere's house. Historic and cool, says Bob. Now they are off to a new city. It is New York City. The family takes an elevator to the top of One World Trade Center. Look, it's the Statue of Liberty, says Dad. In Savannah, they ride a riverboat. Pete orders a slice of peach pie. Yum, says Pete. Life is good. When they arrive at Key West, Pete meets a six-toed cat. Meow. Your paws are groovy, says Pete. Right back at you, says the cat. New Orleans is famous for jazz music. The groovy jazz music makes everyone dance in the streets. Everyone is excited about the next stop. But then, uh-oh! The car gets a flat tire on Route 66. Aww. Don't worry, says Mom. We can't let this ruin our trip. Mom and Dad change the tire. Soon, the family is on their way again. Mom parks the car. Look over there, says Bob. It's Mount Rushmore. What a sight to see! The family stops to take a photo. At Yellowstone National Park, everyone unwinds. The park is so pretty and peaceful. Bob sees bison snacking on grass. Check out those horns, says Mom. Suddenly, Old Faithful shoots water high into the air. Cool, says Pete. Bob thinks it's time to try something different than a car ride. The family goes on a horse ride instead in Utah's Monument Valley. In Los Angeles, Pete checks out the Cat Hollywood Walk of Fame. Pete puts his paws in the paw prints. I feel like a star, he says. When they get to San Francisco, they all squeeze into a cable car. Pete stands in the front and says, toot toot. The last stop is Seattle. They go to the top of the Space Needle. Wow, says Mom. This city is pretty at night. Finally, it is time to go home. We saw so many cool places, says Bob. What was your favorite part of the road trip? Asks Mom. Pete thinks long and hard. There were so many neat sights. The best part was being together with you all, says Pete. The end. Pete the Cat, Pete at the Beach. Story written and illustrated by James Dean. It is a hot day. Pete the Cat goes to the beach with his mom and his brother Bob. Let's go in the water, Bob says. Maybe later, says Pete. Bob likes to surf. He rides the big waves. It looks like fun. I'm hot, says Pete. Go in the water, says Mom. Maybe later, says Pete. Pete makes a sandcastle. His mom helps him dig. Here comes a big wave, and there goes Pete. Oh no! Where did his sandcastle go? Bob rides a big wave. Wow, says Pete. That looks like fun. Pete and his mom take a walk. They find seashells. They see a crab. Pete's feet get wet. His feet feel cool. The rest of him is hot. It is time for lunch. Pete eats a sandwich. He drinks lemonade. The sun is very hot. And Pete is very, very hot. Bob is wet and cool. Let's play ball, says Pete. No thanks, says Bob. I want to surf. Pete throws the ball. His mom catches it. Let's get our feet wet, says Mom. Well, okay, says Pete. The water is cool. It feels good. Pete goes in deeper. Bob waves to Pete. I want to show you how to surf, he yells. Pete does not say maybe later. He says, let's do it. Lie on the board, says Bob. Pete lies on the board. Paddle, says Bob. Pete paddles out. He waits for a big wave. A big wave is coming. Stand up, says Bob. Pete stands up. Then Pete falls down. It was scary, but it did not hurt. Try again later, says Bob. Pete wants to try again now. Pete lies down again. He paddles out and waits. Here comes a wave. Pete stands up. This time he rides the wave. Good job, says Bob. Pete wants to surf all day. Bob does too. So they take turns. Pete and Bob rock and roll with the waves. What a great day! It is okay to be afraid, but it is more fun to surf. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay tuned for many more cool stories like this one. Pete the Cat and the Missing Cupcakes by Kimberly and James Dean. Pete and Gus were as busy as could be. They were getting ready for the cupcake party. It started at 3. They were making cupcakes for everyone. Pete and Gus counted them just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They had 10 when they were done. Oh no! Hang on! Some of the cupcakes were gone. They were sure there had been 10. Pete said, "Maybe we need to count again." They counted the cupcakes lined up straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now there were only 8. It looked like someone had taken 2. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found a clue. Gus said, "Look what I have found. Sprinkles on the ground." I bet it was Squirrel. She loves sprinkles. Squirrel said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been at the spelling bee." Uh-oh! More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. This was too weird. 2 more cupcakes had disappeared. Now there were only 6. Someone must be playing tricks. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found another clue. Pete said, "I bet it was an alligator. He loves to eat." Alligator said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been learning my ABCs." Uh-oh! More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. Now there were only 4. Someone had taken 2 more. But who? Pete and Gus did not know what to do. Just then, they found another clue. "I bet it was Turtle," said Pete. "I know Turtle loves sweets." Turtle said, "It wasn't me. It couldn't be. I've been swimming in the sea." Uh-oh! More cupcakes are missing. Come and see. What on earth was going on? All the cupcakes were now gone. Oh, no! Pete and Gus did not know what to do. They started looking for another clue. They found Grumpy Toad with icing on his face. Pete and Gus have solved the case. "I am so sorry. It was me. I could not stop with just one. I ate and ate till there were none." Oh, no! Everyone agreed. Grumpy Toad would have to miss the fun. He could not come after what he had done. Pete said, "But wait, Grumpy Toad made a mistake. This is true. Let's give him a second chance. That's what friends do." Pete told Grumpy Toad they would give him another chance. He was excited. He did a happy dance. The night of the party was so much fun. Grumpy Toad brought more than enough cupcakes for everyone. The end.